Hello everybody and welcome to Inside China Auto. The electric SUV war is hotting up in China right now, which is why we're here with this, the XPeng G9. This is the brand's fourth car and some might say the most important one that they have made yet. Why? Because the segment that this car competes in is one of the most competitive currently on the market. Now this car has everything on paper to be a massive success. What we're going to find out today is, does it translate into reality? Let's find out. Okay, so as usual, we'll start here with the design of the G9. We'll start at the front where we've got a very familiar face. You'll recognize this full width light bar from the P7. It looks like it's almost been taken directly from it, but of course, it's on a much bigger face now. You've got this rounded front end bulging down here and these large headlamp units across here with additional daylight running light details in there. And as on the P5, you've got these two LiDAR units, one down there, one on the other side. Again, familiar XPeng face. Black gloss plastic at the bottom, a little bit of chrome trim down there as well. As we come around to the side, you'll see that they've kept things nice and simple along here. Not too many details on this bodywork, they've kept it quite smooth. Again, that black gloss plastic and the chrome runs across the bottom, but they haven't gone overboard on the chrome, so there's none on the window, for example. What you do have is a really nice, big, robust shoulder there. What you have also are your flush door handles here, for aerodynamics, of course. And with our car here, we've got the black and the white version. So you've got black ridges all across the top here. And on the top, these house the 5G units. We've also got here indented wheel arches and 21-inch alloys, which are a turbine style, which look really quite cool. You can get 19 and 21-inch alloys here on the G9. So coming around to the back, again, familiar, you have full width LED running light here, including these extra geometric square details in there as well. You've got a big spoiler up at the top, and concealed in there, XPeng have actually got a rear window wiper as well, which a lot of people will be pleased about. Again, that gloss black plastic across the bottom with a little bit of chrome just finishes off the design. And this one has an electric tailgate, so if I waft my foot under the car here, the boot lid will lift up automatically like that. And inside we've got over 600 litres of space in the boot. You also have here a parcel shelf kind of boot storage lid, which you don't get in a Neo ES7. A lot of space in here. You've also got additional space under here. We've got a car cover and a few things in there. You've also got on this car air suspensions. There are two switches here in the back. Two of them will flip down the back seats, which will give you over 1,500 litres of storage space in the car. If I hold down this one, you'll notice here that the car slowly starts to sink on its haunches. That's the air suspension coming in there, and if I press it, it will then come back up again to its normal position. It's really, really quite cool. On the back here, you've also got a large DIN audio sound system, and to finish it off, press the button there, and it comes all the way down. Really quite an attractive car. It looks big, it looks masculine, quite strong, but again, they haven't gone overboard on the detail, haven't gone overboard on the chrome. It's actually a very nice looking car. Welcome to the interior of the G9, the area where XPeng have made probably the largest improvement of all of their other cars. They're now a serious contender as a luxury car maker. This car feels super high-end. You've got leather on every surface, all across the top of the dashboard, all across the console, across the middle here, on the armrest, of course on the chairs, lovely soft Napa leather, but more importantly, down here on the areas that you don't normally touch, where you find your hard plastics, even they are covered in soft leather material. It's really, really high-end. You've got, of course, metal grills for this, your DIN audio high-end sound system, 28 speakers in this car, producing 2,250 watts of output, the highest that I can find on the market, and 90 higher than that in the Li Auto L9, which is the next closest competitor. Up at the top here, we've got two 15-inch screens, pretty much 15-inch, and a 10.25-inch screen there. They run on a 8155 Snapdragon processor, so they're super quick. They have all of XPeng's own software in there, so they run really, really fast. You can swipe your fingers across to switch the screens from one to the other. Even better, as I sit here, I can't see that screen. So this one is actually shielded from my view so that the passenger here can watch a movie without disturbing the driver. In the meantime, as part of that sound system, I've actually got speakers here in the headrest that only I can hear, so I can hear the sat-nav in there as well. Elsewhere in the cabin, you've got steering that is reach and rake adjustable. This is a new steering wheel for XPeng, probably the best one that I've seen so far. It's got some nice roller switches on there, 2-spoke design, looks really, really cool. You've got twin Qi wireless chargers here in the middle, as well as twin large cup holders that go down, and pop those, they come right back up again. We've got a center console cubby that opens both ways, so you can open it that way and this way. And in there is a 3-scent air freshener system, which form part of the 5D entertainment system that you have. So as well as your audio and your visual, what XPeng have done is made a sort of a 5D environment. So as well as adding smells, it will also play with the air conditioning and give you breeze in the face to match your film. And of course, it will go with the massage chairs as well. The chair that I'm sitting on comes with multiple functionalities. So one of the things that I always talk about is how the base is too short, doesn't give you enough thigh support. This chair comes with the option to extend your thigh support and give you maximum support while you're driving. It's really comfortable, great side bolsters. This cushion here is very comfortable, and you've got reach and rake adjustable steering. Not with a handle, you do have to do it in the system, but you can't have everything. But you can easily find a very comfortable position here. You can tilt the base up as well. On the right side here, you get I think it's called a Queen's chair. You get a leg rest that comes up to give you full support there as well. You can also get heating, ventilation and massage in these front chairs. And in the back, you get heating and massage on the outside chairs. I don't think anybody else in the market offers that on a 5-seater. You also get some really cool ambient lighting along there that's really strong, far better than the P5 where you only get it on the tweeters. You get a bit down the doors here as well, and in the bits by the door handle and behind the DIN audio speakers. So yeah, it's a super high-end place inside. Oh, and not to forget the giant panoramic sunroof, which I don't know the exact size, but I think it's at least 2 meters squared, because it's much bigger than that on the P5, which was already 1.5 meters squared. Okay, here in the back of the G9, for once, we actually have quite a bit to talk about, which is great. One of the things that I always complain about in my videos is how the base of the chairs in electric cars never have quite the length that you need. That all changes in the G9. I press a button down the side here, as you can see, it extends my base of my chair and gives me full support here. Not only that, but I also have a switch in the door here to adjust the angle of my backrest. I have 10 degrees of adjustment, so I can be a bit more upright if I really want to be, or I can be more laid back, a bit like I'm in the back of a Zeekr 001. Again, you've got high-end materials all over the place here. You've got loads of light coming in from this panoramic roof. You get twin vents here. It's not 3-zone, so you can't change the ventilation, the temperature here, but you do get a USB and a USB-C down there. As I mentioned, you get heating and massage functions in the back. I do that by holding down the button on the side of the chair. That will kick off a massage. In here, we have a cup holder, or a pair of cup holders, and a little bit of space in there as well. These seats fold flat. There's a little switch in the boot to fold them down, so you can have up to 1,600 litres of storage capacity in this car. This really is a car for the family. Feels great, great sound system. It's one of the best, most comfortable back seats that you're going to find in this category. Right, so I'm going to take the chance to talk to you about some of the stats and information on the G9. It comes in 2 drivetrain options, so you can have it in either rear-wheel drive or in 4-wheel drive. The version we're driving today is the 4-wheel drive performance version. Now in rear-wheel drive mode, you'll get a 230 kilowatt motor on the rear axle. It's about 308 horsepower, 430 Newton meters of torque, which would in any car be pretty much enough power. But if that's not enough for you, you can add another motor on the front axle, make it 4-wheel drive. That one is 175 kilowatts, or another 235 horsepower, which combined with the rear one will give you 717 Newton meters of torque, an incredible amount of torque. For rear-wheel drive versions, that will give you a 0 to 60 time, or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of about 6.5 seconds, 6.7 seconds, I believe it is. In the dual motor version that we're in today, you'll be able to achieve that in just 3.9 seconds. which is astonishing, and it is quite a kick when you put your foot down on the throttle. I'm not going to do that right now because we're in traffic and there's cars around us, but it is a lot of power that you feel in your derriere. The car also comes with 2 battery options, so you get either a 78.2 kilowatt hour battery or a 98 kilowatt hour battery. So there are 3 specifications of this car. You can get the 570, which, as it says on the tin, does 570 kilometers. That's about 354 miles. You can add the extra long range battery, that's the 98 kilowatt hour battery, and extend that to 702. So that version is of course called 702. That is basically about 436 miles, checking my notes. Finally, on the dual motor version with the long range battery, the 98 kilowatt hour battery, you will be able to do 650 kilometers. All of that is on the NEDC cycle, so it'll be maybe a little bit less on WLTC. In reality, when we tested out the P5, it was about 77% accurate, which is pretty good actually, and that will give you therefore more range than a comparable car such as the BMW iX in terms of overall mileage. That additional range may in part be down to the fact that the G9, despite being a bit hefty, is actually still considerably lighter than its rivals. So in the smaller battery version, the car only weighs 2.19 tons, and that rises to 2.355 tons in the dual motor version that we're driving today. Additionally, it also has a towing capacity of 1.5 tons, so not quite as much as the Neo ES7, which has a towing capacity of 2 tons. Nevertheless, that'll be plenty for an ordinary caravan, and therefore with the Chinese market opening up into the world of outdoor adventures, they will have the opportunity with the G9 to drive with a caravan. As you'll no doubt be aware, XPeng are one of the leaders in terms of autonomous driving, and that is one of the big selling points. That comes from things like highway navigation guided pilot, also valet parking assist that they have here in China, and the recently introduced city navigation guided pilot that is currently available on a sort of a beta basis in Guangzhou on the P5. This car comes with the same 2 LiDAR units that you get on the P5. However, where it differs is it has a significant upgrade in terms of the processing power. It has the NVIDIA Drive Orin X chip, which means that it has 508 tops of processing power compared to the 20 tops in the P5. That number is also 3.5 times the 144 tops that you'll find on a Tesla, just for comparison. So this car has got some serious brain power, able to handle all those different things. Now, we don't have them activated on this car today, so we'll show you that in a later video. Nevertheless, it is a serious piece of kit. Right, so let's talk about prices, because this is one area where the G9 absolutely obliterates the opposition, and I can't even overstate that enough. It's amazing the value that you get in the G9. So it starts from 309,900 RMB, or about 43,500 US dollars. The most expensive version rises to 469,900 RMB, which is about $66,000. Now, let's compare that to a very similar size car, actually even slightly smaller, I think, and with way less equipment and with less range, the BMW iX, which here in China retails for 746,000 RMB. That basically makes it tens of thousands of dollars more expensive than the G9, and that's for the base version, because the iX rises to almost 1 million RMB, well into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't know the exact figure. So it's incredible what you get in the G9 compared to a legacy rival like the BMW iX. If you compare it to a local rival, let's go for the ES7, the recently launched ES7, which is actually slightly bigger as a car, slightly bigger, but has a shorter wheelbase. That starts at 468,000 RMB, which is just a smidge under, that's the starting price, just a smidge under the top price of the G9. So really, it can't be understated enough, the considerable value that you're getting. With that performance version, you get an absolutely huge suite of technology and equipment that you won't even find on some of the cars in this class, including, of course, all of that XNGP next level guided pilot equipment, including the 2 LiDARs. You also get dual chamber air suspension combined with continuous damping control to give you better suspension control in all different scenarios, whether you need it to be softer or harder. You of course get your 2 15-inch screens up here at the front. You get a 28 speaker DIN audio sound system with 2,250 watts of output. You get heated, ventilated and massage seats in the front and heated and massage seats in the back with the 10-degree recline function. Basically, you get so much stuff in this car for a ridiculous price, and of course it's covered in Napa leather, as we said earlier. It is a super luxurious place to be, and XPeng have absolutely done a number with this car. Another thing that we need to talk about as well is the fact that the G9 is built on 800-volt architecture. It's one of the world's first cars to do so. What does that mean for you in reality? It means that if you use XPeng's best superchargers, I believe the S4 is the latest one, you can charge 200 kilometers of range in just 5 minutes, which, by the way, is double the amount you can in the BMW iX in half the time, which is insane. BMW iX will give you about 73 miles of range, about 120 kilometers of range in about 10 minutes. This car will give you 200 kilometers of range in just 5, that's game changing for the future of charging electric cars. Okay, so that's it for our time with the XPeng G9. At the start of this video, we asked the question, it has all of the ingredients on paper, does that translate into a real luxury experience in reality? The resounding answer is yes. I'm massively impressed with the G9. I didn't expect it to be this good, but it's packed with so many features at a price point that you wouldn't believe. Compared to the rivals in this market, the ES7, the Li Auto L9, the BMW iX, for example, this car has everything that they have and more. The sound system, 28 speakers, 2,250 watts, is brilliant. The chairs are comfortable, the interior covered in leather on all the surfaces that you touch all the time and the surfaces that you don't. It's got the bases that extend, really nice attention to detail there. It's also got heated seats, massage, ventilation. It's got the Queen's chair in the front that lifts up and reclines. You've got the back seats that recline. You've got the dual chamber air suspension. There's so much packed into this car. I don't think there's anything else on the market that offers as much value as this does in such a graceful package. I think it looks great, especially in white with these cool alloys, with this really nice background that we have here today. I think this is going to be a massive sales success for XPeng, and I'm delighted that they've actually brought all of the learning that they have from all their other cars and put them into this. This is them really getting serious about being a luxury car maker, and they've done a brilliant job with it.